Welcome back. Things are quiet, at least on the index front. The Nifty and the Sensex down just a bit, 0.2% lower. Mid-caps flat in the green for now. Manisha is now joining in, and she's got her eye on copper. Manisha.
Well, thank you for that. Yes, that is because most of the metals are not trading in the positive, but copper is, and LME markets really have seen some support come back as well. That is because you're looking at better than expected Chinese data. The GDP numbers, the services numbers were on the stronger side, and various economic data reports show that the improvement in demand is sustaining, whether it's about US or China or Asia for that matter. The market's also clearly reacting to the US levying 50% of tariffs on copper from 1st of August, and the inventories ahead of this tariff has striped up to nearly 7-month highs. A lot of metal from various parts of the world has been flown into US ahead of this deadline of 1st of August. The lack of official details on whether it's going to be about just copper or copper products or copper cathodes, that clarity is something that the markets are still awaiting. So ahead of that, you've seen copper in all forms being imported into US. Well, apart from that, the premium between the US and LME, well, that continues to hold at a record 25%. And the markets do believe that this will only start to ease after 1st of August, once you have more clarity on the products and, of course, the kind of inventories that US seems to be holding. And that is the reason you're looking at such a huge price disparity that we have seen on LME and in US. When you look at the last 1 month, well, LME has seen a 2.5% decline in case of copper because there are no more takers. Whatever copper had to be sent to US already has been done. So now the copper just continues to lie around. And we've also seen the LME inventories gain up. The COMEX copper prices in the meanwhile in the last 1 month have gained up by 15%. And that exactly mirrors or calculates onto the YTD so far. While the LME copper is just about gained 10%, the US copper prices are up by 38% at this point in time. Well, US does import nearly 50% of its refined copper requirement. Much of that comes in from Chile, Canada, and even as China exported copper worth $866 million to US in 2024, the markets do believe that a lot of other trading partners with US are not in a very beneficiary state, and China perhaps could be sending more copper to US. Canada, Chile, copper just about has turned expensive, and this could really change on how copper is going to be traded globally after 1st of August. If you look at supply disruptions, that's yet another thing that the markets are really taking in support from. Remember, copper is essential to modern industry like EVs, infra, and defense as a sector. There is supply disruption that has been reported from Congo, Peru, Chile. Chile is looking at drought concerns, by the way. So supply disruptions, strong demand, and of course, the tariff concerns, all of those factors are keeping the copper prices on the higher side. What is going to be even more important is the whole host of data that is coming in from US. You have jobless claims, retail sales coming in, also the home sales, builders' confidence data, all of that comes in today. And then apart from that, there are 4 Fed officials also slated to give out speeches. Markets will be taking further cues from all of these.